When we first view a landscape, the plants are the first living things that we notice. Plants are found all over the land surface of the earth, from the deserts to the mountains. They live in city parks and maybe even in your own home. Land animals depend on plants for their survival. We humans get almost all of our nutrition directly or indirectly from plants. It can be argued that the greatest technological revolution in human history was agriculture. Can you imagine a world where all the land is nothing but barren rock and sand? For most of the history of life on Earth, all organisms were confined to bodies of water and their margins. Plants were the first organisms to adapt to life on dry land. The first fossil evidence for plants dates to almost 500 million years ago, the middle of the Paleozoic era. The land provided advantages for survival, like more intense sunlight for photosynthesis. And at first, there weren't any plant-eating organisms on land. But there were obstacles, such as the lack of abundant water. The first plants were probably low-growing and preferred damp places to live, like some of today's plants. These plants led the way for the earliest land animals, like insects. Later, some plants are multicellular eukaryotes. Almost all plants are photoautotrophs. They use their above-ground parts to harness sunlight for energy, and they synthesize organic molecules from carbon dioxide. Plants also have structures below the ground to anchor them in the soil and to absorb water and nutrients. Many of the distinctive characteristics of plants are adaptations to life on dry land. For instance, plants disperse their offspring using spores and seeds. Plants evolved from green algae and were the first organisms to colonize the land. Over the course of their evolution, plants have reduced their dependence on water. The evolution of an efficient vascular system allowed vascular plants to move water to their upper parts so that they could grow taller and farther from water than their bryophyte ancestors. With the evolution of pollen, seed plants no longer needed liquid water for their sperm to travel through. Sperm cells are delivered directly to the egg by the tiny male gametophyte that develops from the pollen. Plants exhibit an alternation of generations, in which haploid and diploid organisms succeed each other. Plants have shown an evolutionary trend in which the dominant form in the cycle is the diploid spore. Land animals have depended on plants for survival ever since plants paved the way to life on dry land. In return, many plants have become dependent on animals to complete their life cycles, exemplified by the pollination of flowers by insects. Throughout the history of civilization, human beings have relied on plants for food and for many other resources.